Hey everybody, this is Doc Mac from the Galloping Ghost Arcade out in Brookfield, Illinois. It's Monday, October 5th, 2015, and I am joined here today by Gamer of the Year Pete Hahn.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
And Jamie Tibbetts.
Howdy.
Thanks for being on.
I've been waiting.
I'm
a fan. I'm a fan of the podcast.
Thank you.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Well, and we've been looking forward to have you on for a while. We've had several discussions about MAME and other things, and always enjoy hearing your viewpoints and your takes on stuff around the arcade. So glad that your input will be heard.
I'm glad it will be heard.
But I guess let's start out. What have you been playing, Pete?
Mainly just Russian Attack lately. Having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Leech and Attack.
Leech and Attack.
That is true. But if we talk about leeching, that is the perfect game.
Yes.
To talk about.
It's a good model. Yeah.
It's a
we'll talk
perfect game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been primarily playing that. I'm getting close. I'm within striking distance. I'm at 421k now. Rocco was a little over 500k, and the world record's like 550.
Yeah.
So I'm getting close.
How
awesome.
deep into this? Is it second loop?
I'm in the second loop, yeah.
Okay.
And Jamie, what have you been playing?
It's the same every week. X Multiply. Chasing Pete.
I love your stream title. When you go live, it says Chasing Han.
Chasing Han.
I feel
It's
special.
true. I don't think I'll get there, but I'll come close. Like my goal this year is just to 1cc stuff. So Pete usually lays a little extra special sauce on top to make the score just that much out of reach for everybody else. But I'm only like half his score now, but I haven't completed the game. Once I complete the game,
You'll be over 4 million. At
oh
least.
yeah, I'll be well over 4
How
million.
close are you to doing it?
Oh, I can
1cc?
do it. I just haven't put the run together. So
Last level?
I got to the last level last time.
Last boss?
No. There's a part where you go down a vertical cavern that is the part of the game.
That makes or breaks the run.
I got to the hardest part of the game, full lives. I'd not died.
Yeah.
Died. Got through it, and barely eked into the last level with my last guy.
I remember watching Pete play it, and it's a tough part.
It's so frustrating because it's one bullet that kills you. One single bullet. It's the same bullet every time. You have to squeeze between these two arms on the sides, and bullets are coming up the middle of them. You have to go quickly down between them, and one bullet comes up, and you have to pray that your bottom appendage arm thing blocks it. If it doesn't, you die. It's brutal. Good game, though.
A great game.
It is.
Yeah.
That was after you and former Gamer of the Year Fred DeHart, when you were doing your Shmuppin series, which thank you for doing that. Everybody here enjoys that.
We keep hoping to get back into it. Hopefully soon.
I really love those videos. The R-Type Leo one was awesome, I thought.
It was. I think that was our best one.
Yeah.
Well, that was really the seeing those made me want to hunt one down, and I was sure that I had thought you would have seen that one.
I'd never heard of it.
That to me, that's very satisfying.
It was cool.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, and Pete.
I would not be surprised if that was in a future episode.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That's why we got it with those hopes.
That's just to be in an episode of Shmuppin'.
Well,
And T20.
And it was great to have it in T20. I know
I think
a lot of
liked
people.
It. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think most people left saying that was one of their favorite games of the tournament.
sure.
I
would agree.
A lot of people enjoy it, but not a ton of people have put scores in it yet, which is interesting.
Just the tournament.
Just the
There's
tournament.
like 38 scores on it.
Yeah.
But like no one else has played it after the tournament that much.
Right.
Yeah.
What was it that made you get into that one?
It's similar enough to R-Type, where like you have a mechanic that lets you use you can use the gimmick of the game, the arms that you get for either offense or defense. Like I really like that. Like it really adds an element that you don't see in many other shmups. Like in R-Type, it's the whatever the bits that you fire that you can propel out, or you can use it to shoot at enemies, or you can relocate it to the back and shoot behind you, or you can use it for defense and block bullets. I just like that, being able to use it for offense or defense aspect of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love IRM games too.
Yeah, that game's right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Horizontal, check.
Yep.
Slower bullets, check.
Yep.
An environment that you have to move through.
That's what I'm good at. Yeah.
It's as soon as you put that on the floor, I knew
Yeah.
it was over.
That was all.
It was over.
Over.
It was a matter of time. Didn't happen right away, but
Yeah.
it was a foregone conclusion.
Well, it's we have some more shmups coming up, so I'm sure.
Can the podcast audience hear me rubbing my hands
I
gleefully?
think they can. It's a good microphone.
Well, it'll be cool. It's always interesting to see when we put new shmups up, who goes after them, and it's always usually depending on if it's vertical or horizontal or chaining or.
I would say I've been all horizontal lately for some reason.
Yeah.
I've been trying. I'm trying to up my horizontal game.
What is your? Let's say, and by the way, so your main. Well, you also go to Underground Retrocade.
I do.
If it is not your home base arcade, if we are saying
it's
that.
5 blocks from my house, so
It's
I
your
would
home base,
say
yeah.
it's my
your
home base.
arcade. What's your favorite game over there?
Oh God.
Is it Ninja Commando?
And what are you playing right now over there?
I'm not one of those guys that has a favorite game because I typically
What favorite game of the moment?
Of the
like
moment.
here,
Yeah,
it's
that's what it is.
Airbuster and X Multiply and Freeze.
I've been playing Raiden DX, and I've actually been playing Blastroids.
Blast.
Mossy's got me back into Blastroids. When Scott first put it on the floor, I played it for an hour, just because I like asteroids. I'm an asteroids guy, and it was cool. And then it just fell off the radar, and I didn't even think it because it's at the Retrocade. It's always in this weird kind of dark corner. You have to put on a spelunker hat and go back. Like it's not prominently featured because he's mostly about early '80s stuff. So Blastroids is kind of but yeah, I've been playing that almost every time I go in. So Blastroids, and I've been playing a little Raiden Fighters too, just because I played that so much back in the day, and it was back in the day last year, and it's just a brutally frustrating game because it's the medal system there to optimize your score is you have to do a series of events perfectly
Right in the beginning.
right in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, Fred showed me. Like last week, he came in and was showing me like how you got to shoot the little Minkless guy.
Oh yeah.
Nicholas, yeah.
And do this a couple times perfectly. Then you get 9 of the medals on the screen. Then they blow up and turn into the 100K medals. It's like, oh my god.
It's maniacal.
It was impressive watching him do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's about it.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, let's see. I guess first let's look at some of the high scores from the last week. We've, as always, there's an impressive list. I know James White just recently put up a new the world record in the Judge Dredd prototype, which I myself have been interested in that and put a little bit of time on that. So, who else do we have?
That's just scratching the surface, though. Do you know how many levels
Yeah,
there are?
there's 3 bosses to the game. There's, I believe, 7 levels. I'm sure somebody will get the groove to it. Like James found out that James White found out that you have to throw a lot of punches because each punch is worth 100 points. So he has not gotten. I've gotten to the second boss. He hasn't, but when he was playing, he was definitely scoring it up.
So can you like punch someone, walk away, punch him, like Final Fight style, and not kill him?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You
Okay.
you have like some punches will just. There's a lot of seeming randomness to it. Like they have a health bar that you can't see.
Oh, okay.
And you can just punch them, and then eventually they'll just go flying away. Sometimes they'll just go flying away off of the first punch, but they'll just come back.
That's weird.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot of. It could have used a bit more fine tuning, but it's definitely fun and definitely a lot of room left on that score.
Cool.
So
I think that. What day was it? It was the same day he upped the house high on Super Pac-Man too.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was on a roll.
Super Pac-Man. That's rough because that's a pattern game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think James is patterning it. I think he's just
I think he's straight up playing.
He's just
he's
playing it.
straight
Yeah.
up, and that is hardcore.
Yeah.
He's on Saturday. He was here for quite a while. He put in a lot of time on.
Yeah.
He's just going back and forth between Super Pac-Man and
Oof.
I haven't seen him back over on Star Castle lately.
That one day broke him.
Yeah.
God, I can't imagine playing that game for that long.
Yeah.
Because that's intense. That's not a relaxing game.
No.
That is too much for a normal human.
James is not a normal human.
James is not human.
He's above.
What else did we have? Don Cox putting up a new world record in Cobra Command of 414,400 points. I believe Matt Rocco had that score for a long time, if I'm not mistaken.
It was from 2012, I want to say.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, yeah.
There's not too many scores that have been around for that long at this point. Like a lot of people have sought those out and upped them quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
I think there are a couple old scores on shmups left, but yeah, they're falling.
Yeah. Then what else do we have over there, Pete?
A bunch of Russian attack people.
Yeah.
It continues.
Yeah, everyone jumped on Russian attack the last couple weeks.
All at the same time. Like it, I don't know, something in the water made us go to that. So yeah, we had me, Mozzie's, Brian Shulo, and who else? I think that's the last three people that have put up scores for it.
Yeah, but you put up 421. That's
getting there.
That's getting there.
Yeah, it's definitely it's gonna take a little time. It's definitely a padding / point pressing game.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Oh yes.
But yeah, looks like everyone's been jumping on it. But we'll see if I can get that. Rocco's a little over 500,000. The world record's a little over 550,000. So we'll see.
How far did you get on that one?
I got to the stage 7, which is stage 3 of the second loop.
Ooh, that's got to be hard.
Yeah.
That's hard on the first loop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting there. And then Mozzie's put up a new Dragon Saber world record. That was actually the night after we recorded the podcast last time. That was like a couple hours later.
Yeah.
So he beat out Zer's score by, I want to say like 3,000 or 4,000 points. It wasn't a ton. No, like 30,000, I want to say.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know he had taken my score, and then Zers took that, if I'm not mistaken.
At T20, I think he beat it.
Yeah.
It was a T20 game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's really cool. I always felt that score was... there's still a lot of room left on that score, I think. It's a really difficult game, but glad to see that's going up higher.
That was one of the... When I first started coming here a couple years ago, I did Saber and Spirit, just kind of back and forth, and those were probably not the smartest game
to start with.
Because I remember them being brutally hard, and I don't know if I could go back now, if I would be better. I probably would.
I'm sure you'd be a ton better.
But
you're a much better player.
I was watching Mossie's play that other day when he got that score, and it's still hard. Like, I don't know if I could do it.
Well, I'm hoping to track down a new Dragon Spirit original dedicated cabinet. That is one of my main focuses right now. So hopefully, if we do that, everybody will get back on it. And
cool. I've been trying it a little bit. Mozzie saw me playing it when he was playing Saber last time.
Yeah.
So I might try Spirit after I'm done with Russian Attack.
Awesome. Very cool.
Then we had Jamie. You had an X Multiply score of 2.8 some million.
Yeah.
Also last week.
Eking up there.
Yeah. That's right. That's in the last level. You said that, Ron?
Yeah.
Okay. So like in the last boss, and there's a bonus for the last boss, and there's a bonus for looping the game. So you get like 1 million right there, and the last boss is like 400K. So you'll be over 4 million easy.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna get to your 5 something.
Yeah,
because that's
5.2 something. Yeah.
How deep into the second loop did you get?
2 or 3. Yeah. I don't remember.
I'll come close.
Yeah.
I'll be number 2.
Okay.
Happy with number 2. Tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight's
tonight.
Yep.
Tonight's tonight.
Nice.
I say that every time I come. It hasn't happened yet, but tonight's the night.
Cool. And then, yeah, that's basically catching us up. That's
awesome.
Oh, no, Jeremiah had a creature score.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I know Jeremiah has been putting a lot of time on creature lately.
Yeah.
Which, it's clearly his favorite pinball that we have.
Maybe his favorite game in the arcade right now.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
I was playing right down the road when he got that score, and he had I think 240 million on his first ball,
Whoa.
Yeah,
and then both second balls were just nothing.
just
That's pinball.
that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what ball it is. I mean, you're going to get one that's going to be crazy high. But that's a pretty good score.
Yeah, it's definitely a great game. We've actually just spent a lot of time on Funhouse this weekend, so that is back up and running for all the pinball fanatics.
Yeah,
Cool.
this weekend it was weird. I texted you. I'm like, what pinballs are supposed to be on? You're like,
Yeah,
all
they're,
of them.
they're all supposed to be on.
Yeah, I
It's,
was like, you know how customers sometimes turn stuff on and they're not, when they're off, and I'm like, I just want to make sure.
Well,
But yeah, they were all good.
Ken and Greg came in very early on Saturday, and we were all here. There's a lot of repair stuff going on Saturday morning. Seth and Haruza pretty much stayed all night working on stuff, and then we had one of our outside techs come in to help work on a game that has been sitting on the floor for quite a while and has not moved in a while.
Is it a secret?
Yeah, but there was a hint there.
Okay.
Wait,
And
it's on the floor?
It's on the floor now.
That can't be a secret game then.
Well, it's so unassuming
Okay.
that most people, it's been there for so long,
It blends into the background.
it blends into the background.
Because there were games that were always like that, but then stuff moves around.
Right. This has not moved
Really?
since it got here.
Okay. It's not Death Race, because that's moved.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Death Race has moved.
Okay.
But tomorrow is supposed to be the day that it
Okay.
so
for an announcement on
look
Facebook.
for an announcement on
Okay.
Facebook.
I'm
and
excited.
It's something it'll be interesting. So very excited for that. Other stuff going on. We have our Troll Bowl coming up on the 10th. So this Saturday, we'll have legendary game creator Brian Colin back out, who not only made Arch Rivals and Pigskin 621 AD. We're having tournaments in both of those, as well as Blitz and NBA Jam. So that'll be a pretty awesome day. I know a lot of the big football players like Brandon and Phil Diaz will be here, and
Is Mirko coming out?
Mirko and Anthony are coming, and I believe Brian Keita's going to make an appearance, Norbert. And so
That sounds like a rowdy day.
it will.
Reminds me of the Blitz, like when it was people just yelling on that thing. We had
Oh,
the
yeah.
shmups in the back row. Yeah.
That was those were the times.
Yep.
I like the new shmup room.
Do
Like
you?
yes, a little. It's like a little oven.
A little cooler and it'd be
Like
fine with me.
bakes you into a nice, warm, comfy feeling.
And a little more space. It needs a little more space.
Well, yeah. I'm skinny though. I can fit in between the machines.
Well,
That's why I need the warmth. The heat of the machines keeps me going.
we will try to. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen after the next expansion. If it might not be as warm,
2 degrees? 2 degrees cooler?
maybe.
Okay.
Watch for that Facebook post too. Also, we have American Horror Scoring 2 coming up.
So last week of
The
whole
next
last
chapter.
Week. Yeah. So we have 13 games. We're working on the list right now. We're trying to get everything ironed out and make sure it's easy to track the scoring on those. So like one of our I think weaknesses in the past is some of the scoring has been harder to track in some tournaments. So I want to do a better job of that. Make it so it's easier to track. Make it so scores like you don't have to be there in person to see every single score. So we're going to try to find games that are easy to track, and we're going to try to cover the tournament better with more stream coverage. So we're trying to do what we can to improve on those things, and we'll see if Pete Gores is going to be a repeat champ.
Yes.
He won last time. So.
Yeah.
Are there 13 other games?
No, there's going to be some overlaps from last
Okay.
year. Yeah.
I was going to say, because
Yes.
that's probably not a deep pool.
No, not really.
Haunted Halloween-themed games.
Yeah. Some games are so bad they're scary though.
True.
That was my
Yes.
idea.
That's
yeah.
true.
That's.
Doc didn't like that idea.
No. We'll see though. We'll see. It'll be an interesting list. Might throw some new games that have yet to appear on the floor, just in time.
Ah.
But we shall see. We shall see. But very excited for that. And then, other than that, we're trying to lay a little low with our tournaments. I know a lot of people keep asking, when's the next Shang Tsung's Fight Night?
We got to make it through the expansion first.
Yeah, we definitely need to get our expansion done before we do that, just because same thing with the swap meet. I know a lot of people have been asking when's the next swap meet. That we want to have done before Christmas, but we just need to see if we're going to have room for it, because there's going to be so many changes going on here. In the end, we'll have a ton of space to do everything, but it's just a matter of getting there. So hope everybody is patient with us as we continue to grow and try to make the place bigger and better for everybody.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I could use some more room to spread out.
Let's see. Going over the list, I guess. Where do you want to start? I know, Jamie. We've got after the last time when we had mentioned the
MAME debate.
The MAME debate.
Mm-hmm.
You had even said it's like I got to be there for the next one of these MAME ones.
I will say Pete did an admirable job.
I tried.
He was taking the role of the MAME supporter,
Yes.
which you kind of are, right?
In some ways,
You
yeah.
weren't filling a role. I mean, you were speaking from the heart.
I understand it's valid and it's very useful. Like I get how useful it can be. Like I guess I'm probably somewhere in the middle, but I understand both sides, but I can appreciate them both.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. But I
And
know
you-
you're a
you-
huge supporter.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In talking
It's-
with you, Doc, over
Yes.
the years,
Yes.
it's clear you have the position that this. I won't say MAME because I was talking to Massey's on the way over here. MAME is a bit of a misnomer because you can play MAME straight up, no save states. So we're talking
Right.
save states.
Well, and there's
Right.
and not that I'm against MAME, in the fact that I like that it exists and I understand people want to play this stuff at home.
Yeah.
At times. Like it does throw a weird, and I've even said that it's not even the save states. Like there's so many elements that have changed how scoring is handled. But doing save states is, I don't know, like it's you don't know who's doing it and who's not.
Right.
So you just kind of have to just go with it.
Right.
But do you do save states? Have
Oh,
you
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. No, unapologetically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a couple discussions with people. Whenever you bring up save states, it's always, it's the steroids of video games, and that analogy holds up partially.
Mm-hmm.
My theory is, I have two theories. There's MAME taint,
Okay.
not that taint, the other one, and there's the advantage spectrum. So, on the advantage spectrum, there are so many different things that go towards whether somebody has an advantage over somebody else.
Yes.
That's typically where safe stating comes in to the discussion. Is it gives people an unfair advantage over people that aren't safe stating. But it's only one thing of many on the spectrum. Like I would say, of all the things, watching YouTube videos is probably the most advantageous. Like that is the thing you can do the most to juice the quickest.
That's what I do.
Right.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Because
I totally agree.
MAME, I mean, safe stating, I would say, is like right in the middle as
Yeah.
far as egregious behavior. Because if you're watching a YouTube video, you are watching somebody who has taken all that can be squeezed out of MAMing and save stating and showing it to you.
Yes.
So, in the middle is save states, where you're actually having to put in time. I mean, you're still putting in time. You could be putting in hours and hours on later levels that you would never see if you were grinding from the beginning every time. So you do have an advantage, but you have an advantage living 5 blocks from an arcade like I do.
Sure.
Or, versus like Duke, who's taking a train. He's got his bike on the train. I mean, that's dedication. So if it takes you an hour to get to the arcade, that's another hour that somebody that lives next door is going to be gaining on you. So there's just, to me, it's one big spectrum of all these advantages. And I would say, going back, it's not even attacking a game the way it was meant to be played. Because even back when games first came out, magazine article, like, Game Pro, Nintendo Power, all those, you had no internet. But as soon as you got that magazine, they had maps and levels and tips, and this is how you do this, and boom, boom, boom. So someone who knows how to do it is just sitting you down and going, here's how to do it. You don't have to put in any work whatsoever. I'm going to tell you how to beat this game from A to Z.
They had those hint lines you could call too. Remember the Nintendo Power hint line?
Right.
So you could ask someone straight up, how do I beat this boss?
So
I ran one of those for a while.
I called one once. I felt bad.
I think we only called one once to say that we had beaten Mike Tyson's Punch-Out when it came up.
So you called to brag?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's how, to me, save stating saves. It improves gaming across the board.
But scores in general.
Yeah.
Let's what are you looking to, like, your scores, what do you want them to represent? Like, do you want
Pure skill. Doesn't matter how you get that skill. Because that's the only thing you can do.
Okay, but is there, to me, and this goes true with videos, and I'm not saying that I've never watched a gaming video by any means, but and me and Pete have had the discussion of the knowledge of the game. It's and how are you as far as do you share your secrets?
Oh, absolutely.
He shared some with me.
Absolutely.
We've sent each other X Multiply.
Yeah, X Multiply. The second I learned, I save stated the final boss, and as soon as I figured out how you could reliably beat the first form of it, I texted him 5 minutes after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sending him my runs, where I would get to the last boss. I just put it up on YouTube and set it to private and just sent him the link.
Yeah.
I woke up at 7:30 in the morning. I got his text from that night, and I just sat there in bed and watched it the first thing waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to improve it. I don't know. It sharpens each other, I guess. We can help each other.
And that's been one of the most everyone here is very open about their techniques and stuff. There's obviously some scores that you hold more dear. You have none you're just the score doesn't matter.
I don't really have that many. I don't have any impressive scores, so I can't say that one. If it was
what about Haley's Comet? That was pretty impressive, I thought.
It's semi-impressive, but you could easily take that.
It's mostly that as long as you keep your power ups.
Yeah.
You're just kind of blasting through it. It's
to me, I'm not. I've never. I don't think of myself even remotely in a category of somebody who's world class. That has, like a Robbie Lakeman is, 1 in a million.
Mm-hmm.
I am not that, right? It's just a fact. So I don't think of stuff in that way. If I was going after the Donkey Kong and I was one of those 3 guys that are constantly battling, then it would be serious. If somebody took that score, that would be oh God. But no.
Have you ever thought about grinding out on Donkey Kong?
Oh my God, no.
Do you hate the game?
No, I do not like the game. I don't.
Do you understand what the fuss is about? Why everyone loves it?
Well, yeah, it's just King of Kong.
Yeah.
Without King of Kong, no one gives a crap about that game because it's nothing special. It's a classic, but I don't play any of those. I don't like Pac-Man. I don't.
But you've got to have a score that you're man, when I got that was awesome.
No,
I
really.
worked on it.
No, because I
What about Altered Beast?
That's totally beatable.
What?
Totally.
I thought you near maxed it out.
Yeah, but there's
there's
that little
space.
There's that little space. In my runs, and I save stated the holy hell out of that game because it's a brutal game. It's precision on every step of the way. You have to know I'm going to stand on this spot behind this tree, and kick this guy twice, and then go. So it was a matter of me just grinding it in save states and to the point where I had it all memorized because it's a really short game.
Yeah.
And then
5 levels.
I just went in and I beat it here first. Then I went to the retrograde and beat it slightly more. And there's a wolf that goes over my head that I know is points, and I'm watching the points go away. So there are 2,000 or 3,000 easy points on that.
Well, okay, now
I'm an 80%er. I like to say when people tell me like, I tell them I'm an 80%er. I'll go 80% of the way and get a really good score, and then I'm not that guy that can grind out that other 20%. I'm just not.
But what about, okay, so say there's a player that just walks up to the machine, he hasn't save stated, and he's getting 1,000 points less than you.
I would consider him to be a much more impressive gamer, but his score is not as impressive as mine.
Right.
Yeah. Score is all that we measure, though.
Right.
Right. Well, and in that, there's...
I would congratulate him on being awesome.
Number 2.
But I would...
Dr. Evil's number 2.
It's not even that. In my brain, I would be thinking, well, my God, that dude needs to start save stating, because he would dominate.
Right.
Like he's selling himself short. There's no reason, because everyone has access to it.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
But there just are the players that choose not to do that.
Sure.
And it's like the natural players that are not doing MAME, and again, that's what they say. Anybody can be doing anything.
Yeah.
You never know.
But there are people that are anti-save states, and that's fine. Totally fine.
Yeah.
Those are not the guys going after scores. Those camps do not overlap.
Okay.
They do not. James is the only exception here, because he just grinds and grinds and grinds on games. But if somebody came along that save states and played a game that James has grinded on and gotten the score, they would take it.
That's true.
Just because they have a severe advantage.
They do.
And we are joined by 2014 Gamer of the Year, Mr. Fred DeHart.
Yay!
Special appearance.
Special appearance.
Special appearance.
Special episode.
Cameo appearance.
We're talking about MAME and save stating.
Oh, okay.
What's your thoughts?
Why not?
End of discussion.
I don't know. Like, if people want to practice a certain part of a game, then that helps them. I don't see why not. Like, I honestly prefer to kind of play like do long plays. Like that helps me at least. Like get through hard spots.
Yeah.
So but I don't know. Whatever, man.
Jamie was saying he thinks watching YouTube videos is more of a help than save stating in some cases.
Yeah, in some cases, right? Yeah,
I
because
agree.
it's gaining like an outside perspective. Like you might be just been ramming your head against the wall for forever. Like how could anybody do this? And
That's how you
why
do it.
didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Like, I think in videos we can look back at like Rocco's Rolling Thunder run.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was playing the game totally different. Like, he was getting to the last boss, and without seeing how it was done, he never would have progressed with the score at all.
Right.
And he didn't want to play it like that.
We watched like a MAME replay, right?
Yeah, there was a MAME replay.
There was an IMP file I think I downloaded for him that showed like all the padding, how it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just
I need
kind
to
of...
see that,
Oh, I have it. I can give it to you.
because I still don't get it.
For Rolling Thunder?
Yeah.
Well, didn't you watch Zerst do it in was it what's the sequel to it? Thunderjaws.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I played Rolling Thunder hardcore and was getting to the second.
It's very
move,
similar
but-
to that. There's a bunch of padding spots in that too.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh, okay.
any of the padding spots.
I guess that kind of moves us on to the second point of leeching and padding.
Russian attack right now has been the
I didn't
big,
even
big topic.
I didn't even get to talk about maintain.
Okay,
Let's go back to maintain.
Let's talk
What's
about that.
maintained?
Well, everyone was probably like hanging on the whole conversation, waiting for maintain to come up. My theory of the save states being compared to like juicing in baseball. It's only the same up until the point that in baseball it was either you did it or you didn't. So there were guys juicing and there were guys that weren't juicing. I don't think you can exist, and I believe James and maybe Rocco are the only two that exist in this arcade that are main taint free. Because anytime you talk to somebody, anytime you watch a video, anytime you go online and read a thing or read a tutorial or any discussion of a game, magazine, you've been tainted at this point. Because all those could and very well probably are coming from people save stating.
Sure.
So the second you open your mouth and talk to somebody about a game, you're tainted. You don't know if their information that they maybe say, "Oh no, just stand here." Like I watch him in X Multiply. There's like a little spot on one of the bosses where you just sit and you can have a cup of coffee.
Yep.
Eventually, he just goes away.
So I don't know where he got that information.
It was a video. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know, as soon as he told me that, I'm tainted.
Sure. Well, and again, there's so
I'm
many
not
levels
juicing.
of.
Like,
It would be
might as well
like
just lock yourself in a cave then.
right. That's the only way to
Right.
avoid the MAME taint is if you are completely isolated.
Yeah.
Well, and the advantages that you get from there's an infinite amount of advantages, be it like videos, the community that discusses things and shares ideas. Like things have changed so much. We've even pointed out like the free play aspect of it. Like who back in the day would you're putting your quarter
that's a
in
huge
$100
advantage.
into a game.
Huge
right.
Yeah, it is.
Like you can throw games away.
Yeah.
Like that would never happen back in the day.
No.
Right. I think that immediately puts all of us on the advantage spectrum way up on
Absolutely,
the spectrum.
absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, like the whole MAME taint thing. It would be like steroids if they were in the air in the clubhouse. Like the only way to avoid being on steroids would be to have your own locker room, because you can't talk to anyone. You can't go online. It's completely unavoidable today. That's why you just have to do it, because it makes gaming more fun. You're not grinding on the same levels. It's just not enjoyable. If you save state, I can tell you, games are so much more enjoyable because you're seeing levels you will never see.
But and to me, I guess if everybody is doing it, it's a different thing. Like myself, I don't do it, and I don't play MAME with save states. Like I've watched some videos here and there, but it's one of those
Tainted.
It's sure, absolutely. If you're like, that's been a difficult thing for me in going for scores, where it's less inviting if I know the other person that's going for the score is running home, save stating, and doing all this stuff, and it's like, oh, can we not do that?
No.
Just on this
You
game?
have to be happy.
Can we be
just
above
playing for yourself? Because if you're going for a score, you will not be happy. Because, like you said, you're going up against save staters.
Sure.
I'm going to bring up one of my experiences in the past with Walters. We were playing Mars Matrix for a while, going back and forth in the score there. We were both maiming it, but like we were doing it together, I guess. So like, we're learning the game, and I thought that helped us a lot. I mean,
right. But how would you, if he was save stating and you weren't, and like there's that like you're competing, you're super cool friends and everything, but it's like one person is advancing while you're watching, and then
if you have the time, go for it, man. But
right.
It's all about, when it comes down to that, time sink. If you feel you need to do that, but like, hey, I thought, at least in that specific instance, I thought MAME was quite a useful tool, and I thought, like, it helped us certainly break a few barriers.
Yeah.
That's the other point. I mean, it's the time sync point.
Yeah.
It just lets you play more games.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
But when it comes down, you still have to perform, man.
Yeah.
Like Jamie is always talking about, oh yeah, at home I got 1,000,000 points, and he comes in and gets 2 points. Just two measly points. Two measly points.
Well, and
that's how I kind of feel. Like,
also, the controls the response is different.
Yeah,
from
sure. You get used to
stuff,
something that you're not used to at home. But like, I compare it to like practicing an instrument. Like, you practice ahead of time to play your concert well. Like, I consider the arcade the concert. Like, I want to do well when I'm here.
Right.
So.
Yeah, when you're practicing, you always practice different parts. You master the first part. That's totally true with music. You don't always start at the beginning.
You're not going up against another band and being
this
like,
could be a
battle of the bands.
Right.
Wild Stallions versus Primus all over
But
again.
you both.
Yeah.
If it was Battle of the Bands, you're juicing. You're save stating those. You're learning all the parts as quickly as possible.
Jamie would be the bass player.
The mullet.
Tambourine.
The mullet.
Tambourine.
Tambourine/bass player.
You can both be remembered, where in scoring, not so much the case.
To me, it boils down to a simple fact of, if you're going after a score,
And that's not an X multiply thing either.
What? I missed that.
Nobody will remember you for X multiply if you stay in number 2.
Then no one will remember my X multiply.
Come on.
No.
They'll call him Mr. Eyes.
You either save state and go for scores, or you are happy playing the game and just being, be just happy with yourself and just you versus the machine. If it's you versus the score, you will not be happy because save staters will always beat you. Always.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
How do you feel about like in the past where there was like people growing up in the 80s where they didn't have MAME? How are they getting these monstrous scores? Like how was like I don't know when like the Centipede score was set, but like I know Billy Mitchell had like 25 million before he could play it on MAME. Like how much skill do you think he would have had? How better would he have been had he had MAME?
Well, Centipede, that's not mameable. I mean,
that's a trackball. That's
all skill.
Yeah.
But
That's
again,
a good
that
question.
it was a different time when you didn't go to the arcade. There wasn't like your arcade didn't have 470 games that you wanted to play,
Right.
or free play, and it was you focused on fewer things.
If that was the one at the convenience store down the street, that's all you played.
Right.
That's they just had to get really, really, really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But even back then, I still have newspaper clippings from the Tribune of how to beat Donkey Kong levels.
That's
and
true.
Pac-Man
There's a
levels.
Steve Sanders book.
Sure.
I mean, there was never an absence of people or ways to get information to give
But
you
the
advantage.
information, and again, like we've had the discussion of how important the information is, and there's definitely a difference between seeing the printed version. It gives you, the idea
screenshot,
versus.
I'm all about shared
A
information.
video or right.
This is the information age.
Snapchat.
It's on the internet. Everyone should know it. Like everyone's score performance should be public. I think.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
Yeah, that's been the good thing about the whole Twin Galaxies thing, where you just have to you have to have a video. You can't.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no rest.
No more secrets.
Yeah.
Do you think arcade should move to that?
I don't know. I don't think I don't think there are enough people on arcade for it to matter.
I think if you're going to claim it's a world record, I think you should show footage. That's how I feel.
I
Right,
agree
that
with
should be.
I would agree.
That should be common sense. I
Yeah.
think, right?
Yeah. Because then there's no dispute.
Like we said, especially in this day and age, when everybody can just whip out their phone and even record something.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
And sometimes I know, like a lot of the players here, it's they go in not thinking this is a practice game, and then they walk away with the new record, and it's like, oh, why didn't I record that?
It's happened to me.
So, yeah,
It's happened
to all of us.
Yeah.
So the question is,
Yes.
if you have a world record that involves leeching,
Lurching.
Yes.
is it a world record?
Well,
Like Russian attack.
it just ultimately it does come down to score. Like myself, I don't watching you play Russian Attack.
You seem disgusted. You walked away after 2 minutes of watching me play.
To me, it's breaking the spirit of the game. Like there should be a flow, and that's my opinion. Ultimately, that's not how it is. It comes down to who has the highest score.
Mm-hmm.
How I know, like Rocco got incredibly far in that game, further than what the current world record did. Like, had he just sat around in one place and killed a bunch of extra free guys,
I'm sure he did. Maybe not on purpose. But when I was watching him when he was in that mode, when he was getting that score, there were plenty of times when he would have to sit there in one spot because
You gotta be patient.
on the second loop, guys just swarm you.
Yeah.
right?
4 guys come and jump kick.
But there's
So you don't know if he's doing it on purpose or if it's just
surviving.
when
survival.
it's like getting the same point and there's 100,000 point difference. There's a bit of an egregious bit of padding going on.
Well,
Like,
in
where
that
you-
game, it's pressing though, because there is a hidden timer. Like you can't sit there forever. There is a risk.
But you can't avoid
The bombs.
You can't avoid it.
Yeah. He's telling me dodge 1 or 2 of them, but eventually it'll say hurry up and then you just die.
And then
Heart attack. Yeah.
But you're in constant mortal danger. I mean, that's not easy
Right.
to hang around in Russian Attack.
That's true. It's true.
yeah, that takes a lot. Watching Rocco do it. Oh yeah, I can do that. No, I can't.
Yeah. Like when he was on watching him on the second loop, it was just it was shmup level firing, hitting
Yeah.
the button. I mean, it was just knife, 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 just nonstop, like tiring, just watching it. So, if you're, I mean, in that much danger, Scott, you're wide open. Do whatever you want. Sky's the limit.
Okay? So even if you're not in that much danger, like
I think if you're in any amount of danger,
well, it's
Well,
that's
like I'm trying to think like what games can you just like sit there? And
Well, like
just,
in Donkey Kong, when you're on the rivet board and you're just jumping and pressing right, you're in no danger if you lock all the guys out with the rivets. Like,
well, you could actually like, jump into Donkey Kong and die.
yeah,
Like I've
Sure,
done it.
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
done it.
by accident, yeah.
Yeah, it's very rare, but you can do
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
But like,
And you feel really dumb.
but like when I'm watching, that's point pressing because there's a timer.
Right, point press, but you can only do it at like a certain point where it becomes almost like
if you're in danger
You don't have to
or
worry
if
about it.
there's a timer.
you're getting more points from the barrels. That's where all the points are, really. Like, but it's kind of it's so weird though. Like you have to like go through all these games and like determine is this padding, is this leaching, or, like what are the
I think if
rules
there's
for
a
this? 'Cause
timer,
nobody
you're
else thought to
fine.
think like,
And
oh,
you're in
what if we
danger.
kept like records for these things? Like,
Yeah.
no, just put a game out.
I think a timer solves everything.
yeah, you have a timer and you're in danger. Wide open,
Yeah.
no rules. Honestly,
see,
Castlevania is
like,
the only one that breaks that because you can go forever.
What Steve Wagner did with was it Elevator Action, where he proposed a track where it was like not point based, but like how far
How far
got
you
in the
go?
game.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, so that's something to think about too. Like as far as like like Ghosts and Goblins, that's a great example I think of just mindless leeching.
Yeah.
If you really want to.
yeah.
And then, but like it's really hard to get far in that game. In my
Right.
opinion. Like
Oh,
I've gotten to level 4 a few times, or end of level 4, and be like shaking my head, like how do these people do it? But otherwise you can just sit on level 3 and just back and forth, kill a bunch of zombies, and you
If
know.
the leeching is finite, no rules. I say. The game's broke. I mean, the game's broken and it's stupid, but you can't police it
is
because
bro-
one man's
broken
leeching,
for scoring, not
yeah.
necessarily for like actually playing the game.
Right.
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 Right, but we're talking world records, so scoring is the metric. I mean, it's because you cannot determine by looking at something whether someone is leeching or is being cautious.
Right,
there's a
but-
very gray area.
You can just tiptoe little by little. Oh,
Right.
I'm being,
yeah, oh, I'm just being cautious, and you just
yeah.
inch.
Yeah.
You don't not technically standing still,
Yeah.
but you don't know what's going on in that person's mind, and
Sure.
you certainly don't know what's in someone's mind if you're watching a YouTube video.
Right.
So you cannot police it. So it's absolutely no
So,
holds barred.
Just whatever
Absolutely.
whatever
Less.
gets the high score gets the high
I think
score.
Castlevania shouldn't have 5 lives.
I agree with that. It's
It's
like
stupid. It's a broken game. If
if
someone
it's-
wants to sit there for 86 hours,
right. Let him go do
Is
it.
that what
Let
the world
him do
record
it.
is?
no.
Oh.
I don't know if
It could
anyone's
be.
done it. I think.
Or
I mean,
go play Cubert for a few days.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
it's the same thing, and then it becomes man versus mind. I mean, it's.
Versus Snake.
But that's it. I mean, the game's broken. There's nothing you can do about that.
Right.
Right. I mean,
But-
it's not how they originally planned for the game to be played, but
Right.
I think that argument is always like secondary because I don't think many games are played how they were meant to be played.
True.
So I mean, that's just not today they are because people. I mean, they can patch it,
Right.
but you can't change a
Right.
game after it's out. So you just gotta play it.
Points almost seemed secondary back in the day. I mean, it was like
They
it was
were.
you
They
versus
were.
the game. You wanted to beat the game.
So
Right.
what was the first game to use points?
Is it Space
Pong.
Invader? Oh,
Pong, I guess Pong, right? Yeah. I guess Pong, yeah. But like,
I leech that all the time.
Yeah.
Put that second credit in.
are those pinball games count?
Yeah.
I would say I would say the only time leeching would be unacceptable is if you could somehow put a book on the button or a rubber band on the joystick and walk away. If you could walk away from the machine and your points continue to go up and you are not in it, then that's where the line is drawn. Because then that's just
how do you feel
Well,
about Ninja Turtles with hitting the star? Like
absolutely because you're in danger.
if you time it wrong, you get hit.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean,
But okay, so
absolutely.
there are games that, and Turtles is one, and
lot of concepts,
Splatterhouse.
yeah.
Splatterhouse is very notable for its rules that they're like, hey, you can't do this.
Really.
You can't double kill the last guy, you and yourself.
And that,
Oh well,
that's
that's glitching though, man. That's not
That's-
padding.
you run out of like
You run out of
you
guys,
have a
finite.
limited number of guys. It's actually the rule
Oh, it's
is
not like where you get an extra guy. And
you,
No,
you,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
you
At a
do.
There's a certain amount of extra guys, though.
Yeah, you can only get
Yeah.
13 guys.
Only.
if it's finite, done.
But
Let it
okay,
go.
and they made the rule before they knew there was a limit. And like, so there's the Japanese scores where everybody is killing the boss over and over and over. And then, but there's a score that we go by with Orcade that was originally set through TG that had this rule. Like, what are your thoughts? Should those rules go back?
You can have them,
Go
but they're
back and-
arbitrary.
They are. You make a new track where anything goes at that point.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I always vote for no rules whatsoever. Always.
Just don't
Jamie is the
compare
anarchist.
apples to
The anarchist.
The arcade anarchist.
No, because it simplifies everything to absolutely the simplest form of it.
Right.
It's just score. Just score.
Just compare apples to apples. Though.
Yeah.
Don't compare
But-
these scores with that rule with the
Right.
new scores.
What about a bunch of rules? Throw a
Wait,
bunch
what
of
does that
rules
mean?
in
The
here.
more rules,
More
it's just
structure.
the more murky it gets. And, yeah.
Yeah.
like,
You
it's
can
just
do
like-
it to have fun,
Yeah, it's all about fun. It should be about fun.
but
Sure. But,
Sure, that was very
like-
convincing.
But as more and more things are found, like just like the Splatterhouse thing, like
Yeah.
then it's like my issue with creating new tracks is that you don't know what people are going to follow. Like there's the Japanese scores and there's the US scores. And to me, I would like to have this is the world record.
The universal.
The universal, this is what everybody goes by. And that's
universal cell phones. What makes you think we're going to get universal?
it's
That's a dream, yeah.
It's a pipe dream, man.
it
the
can
only
be
way that's
done.
achievable is anarchy. Just points. Just points.
Just points.
Absolutely. Because then you don't have
Documented points.
What about
Right. Record
Hydro Thunder?
to... Yeah.
What is it?
What about Hydro Thunder? There's no points in that.
It's time.
It's time.
It's all time.
Well, then that's not even an issue. There's no...
So are you saying
there's no
there's a
leeching.
correlation between time and score?
Are we trying to get deep? Heavy? Cosmic?
Score time. We're going to call it score time from now on.
like
My
bullet time, but
thought
different.
was always I thought there should be a lot more information given of how the scores were achieved beyond just a video. And I
When
guess
you have rules, then that becomes an issue. You have... Then there's the burden of proof that you followed the rules. If there are no rules, everything is accepted because...
as long as there's a video for it.
If you're going to call it a world record,
Well, that's
then
not
yeah.
a rule then.
I would say yeah, because
It's highly recommended.
because somebody could
No
have figured out
rules.
a glitch. If somebody discovered a glitch and kept it private and didn't
Yeah.
show proof, then absolutely, you have to show proof. But stripping all rules away,
Do whatever you
You've
want.
created a utopia where without rules, there's no burden of proof other than score.
Oh,
Did
but
I
then
win yet?
Everybody's going to be
No.
hours of knifing.
Sure.
Level
No,
one.
it ruins games. Don't get me wrong.
It boils them down to like
Yeah, like Fred and
what's
I
the
were
problem with
playing
them?
Ghosts and Goblins and hitting the leech spot, and it was awfully boring. It was horrible. Yeah, it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for like 20 minutes. It ruins the
I am
game.
better back and forth than Jamie is, just so you know.
I know.
Your name's on the card.
I got to
saw
go
it.
back to that. But
Even if he does, I won't.
you
go
can't
back.
control that. Games are broken. People will
Sure.
break games. It's just that's just the way it is.
That's the way I think even fighting games are broken. Like
Oh, absolutely.
that's why I
Absolutely.
pick broken characters in like Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat, because they give me an advantage.
Sure.
Why would I not?
I don't like it. Not saying that
There's
it can
dislike
all-
and there's acceptance.
well, obviously,
There's
like
tolerance.
That's all I want. I want tolerance. Tolerance for save staters.
Well, where you were
there's
saying
no stopping it. Like
No, I know.
I can't.
Your nose goes up a little.
I don't like it.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that.
you were saying like you want the background information, like when someone puts
I
in a
think-
score.
I like to know that. I like to know who I'm competing against.
But does it?
Jamie Tibbetts, father of two lovely dogs.
Father.
But like when someone puts up a score and they don't give like the background and it's just the score, like you won't have the background story. Is that what you're having a problem with?
Is
What does the background story involve?
well, I don't like if somebody's playing MAME
Oh,
all the
stop
time,
it.
and
No.
it's different. It's like there's scores that I just won't want to go against anymore.
What if a guy save stated once versus a guy that save stated a million times? Is he immediately disqualified in your mind?
Has he ever saved? Like,
If you
no,
save state
no.
once, are
There's-
you a save stater?
Is he learning the one part he has a problem with? And has he
Probably.
loaded it 1,000
Why don't
times?
you learn the part you don't have a problem with?
Right.
Sure, true.
But like, I don't know. It's like, at that point, like, it doesn't matter though. I mean, because they could have grown up with it in their basement. They might know the game better than anyone who save stated
For
it.
sure,
Yeah.
for
That's
sure.
an advantage.
Yeah.
Owning the
It's-
game is
it's
an advantage.
Yeah.
absolutely,
It still comes down to-
absolutely.
They have to
You gotta
execute,
let it
though.
all go. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Well, you
remove
can't-
all
you
the
can't-
barriers and the rules, and it all just settles in, and you're happy, and everyone's equal.
You know what I do a lot is I use console ports. Like,
Oh, then that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Like it's
I played Contra a lot on the Xbox Live Arcade,
yeah,
and that helped me when I came here.
yeah.
So I don't know how do you like.
Save stating would have helped you more, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and again, you can't keep any of it out.
No, that's why you gotta just let it in. Let
I don't
your
wanna
heart. Let it into your heart.
You know, it's easier.
I'll never do it.
Yeah, but it's easy for her to say when we have all these actual like arcade, machines here in Cab stuff. But think about some guy living in like Bufu.
Yeah. Dude,
Oh,
You
and
know.
again,
Crapping
we're
in the holes
all
in
Dude,
the
traveling
super,
in an hour to play. I mean,
Sure. We're super fortunate to
Well,
have
I'll
these
put it
selection
this
of
way
games.
to try and break down your armor. You would have
Well,
not seen.
leave me in
no,
my
no,
armor.
you've got,
I'm-
you've got a whole suit
I'm-
of anti-save state armor. You wouldn't have
But
seen any of these good scores in this arcade if no one saved state.
That is,
Think of all the joy of all those scores. Because it is. It's fun
Sure.
to watch people
Safe dating circus. Yes.
like
beat games,
There-
beat games that you would never have seen anyone beat.
absolutely,
If no one saves
absolutely.
It's
That's-
joyful. Safe stating is joyful.
But at the same time, like the downsides to it is like you're kicking out some people that will just be like, oh, I could never get that score, and you have to get other players in so deep to get them to put scores in, and it's like
I got no problem with
It's-
that.
But
though.
but if that's the case, then maybe they're not cut out for this. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
I
I
think
think
a lot of
if
us
for
are
scoring for
if
fun.
we're scoring, like well, you say we talked about world records before, right?
But you can't. That's the mentality of it. Is like somebody sees that card and they can really love the game. They could really like.
And play for fun then.
Right, but you can also go the opposite way. Like I think a lot of us like when like, hey, look at that. Like I wonder if I could do that. Or
I've seen scores
how
that
could I try,
are,
like,
I
you
would
know?
not be able to attain.
Yeah.
And like Fred said, I looked at the score, and
But
but
you-
knowing that I can save state, I go after scores.
But everybody here has come in through a different time period.
Yeah, but you can't prove. Like it'd be great if you could
Back
prove
4 years
back
ago.
in the 80s, the 80s guys. If
Sure.
you could prove when that delineation was, when the guys were, taint free, but you can't. There's no age
in
of
how
the
you
man.
can like that. It's such a defining what that taint is. Like if it's any advantage, like you can't. There was never that time unless there was some guy that
That is my argument.
in a
that
cave,
that's
yeah.
not- yeah.
right.
The cave troll.
Like in that
Trouble.
sense, all you can do is any time after that has come and that time has come and gone. And all you can do is shoulder shrug.
It's all scoring. It's all fun.
Sure.
It's all fun.
Like, and people do it. I've seen some amazing things done. Like, there's so many games just from you three sitting here that I love watching you guys play, and it's amazing feats of gaming. And there's no disrespect of how you got there by any means, but it's
You almost said that with a straight face.
no. That's, what's that?
Twin Cobra 2.
Twin Cobra 2 was disappointing on a different level.
That's just
What
an
happened with
easy
that?
game.
Sure, but
No. We
It
we
was-
both would have once he seeded
first
within a
first
week
credit
without
Ah,
save stating.
maybe.
That
No.
is-
It would have been more enjoyable to watch the games
That's the
and some
second-
progress.
Well, because you like to see the progression.
It was
I
our,
like to see the
it was our
progression.
second or
of it.
third game we
Yeah.
once you seeded each.
For me,
yeah, no,
Wow.
there was very
But
little. There
even-
was very little save stating.
Is it
going
an easy
on.
game?
Oh god,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
so easy.
Yes.
That score needs to be no deft, and
And
it's so easy
No,
to do.
no, yeah, totally.
Legitimately.
but I guess, and maybe it's on a different level. Maybe it is I like watching the progression of it, and I like watching it happen in front where people can see it, and
There's still
that's-
progression.
There is, but it's different.
Yeah.
Like Twin Cobra had you guys done that all here, that would have been like you just did it your first playthrough instead of your fourth playthrough. But there's still a little bit of like, even that would have been somewhat more satisfying.
I don't remember. We may have beaten the game without save stating. To be honest, it was
I'm
not.
sure it wasn't.
It's not hard.
It was game of the week.
You probably did beat it without save
No,
stating.
we
It
did,
really.
we did beat it with us because we're doing the game of the week then. So,
Yeah.
It was just natural progression. But I mean, I think save stating makes harder games accessible. Like easy games,
Sure.
easy games would be made. You're kind of forced to grind out the first few levels, and maybe it takes you a few days to beat the game. But those are boring games.
But they're
It's artificially
in a sense,
exciting.
to me, it's maybe it's like I enjoy seeing that stuff. Like it makes the accomplishments feel better. It's like you watch.
For me, I get your point because it's like watching Rocky, like him going through the workouts and building his muscle up, and then exceeding
Right.
when he beats Apollo Creed.
Like
Like
he lost
if you didn't, yeah, well, he tied him the first time. But like if you didn't see any of that leading up to it, it wouldn't be as exciting because
Right.
you don't
you
know
just
how much
see
he put
him
into it.
as this
Super
jacked freak just
I
punching.
get where you're saying like you want to see how he got so buff
Right,
before he fought
right.
Apollo Creed.
Yeah,
That's basically what you're saying, right?
basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't save state right off the bat unless I have an objective. Like if we're doing shmupping, I sometimes need to juice a little harder because I need to record it fast. But
Yes, that's
typically,
for
I will
recording.
play a game for a few days before I even think of doing that.
Okay.
Just because there is that fun where it's something new, you want to play it. You
Yeah.
don't want to. I mean, yeah.
Discovery is always cool in
Yeah.
some of those games too. You know, like, oh, I didn't know I could die like that. Amazing.
Well, and again, it's not something that it would ever be. It's not leaving the scene anytime
No.
soon.
No, never.
So.
Anyway, safe stating rules. We all agree.
I'm putting my helmet,
Your Predator
my
helmet up?
predator
Oh,
helmet,
boy.
my shield up. But to each their own.
Yep.
Yep.
And many high scores will fall, regardless.
Tonight.
Correct.
Tonight.
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 Jamie's
What do you-
Jamie's going to
I
take
did.
down.
One score already fell.
What'd you do?
Freeze.
Oh, very
I
nice.
beat it. I beat it by a whopping 800 points.
Why don't you go play Aero Fighters 3?
Mm.
700 points.
Wait, do you have that score now?
Yes.
Yes, I've had it for a
Let's
while.
not talk about
Let's
that.
talk
Keep
about
throwing it in.
Talk about. Hey, I need you to, by the way,
Yes.
fix the Aero Fighters 2 monitor so I can take that score back.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I got to reunite the belts again.
There
Who,
Don't.
do you have it?
He's
I've
got,
got
that.
2. He's got 1 and 3.
Okay.
You know. I've got the important one.
No, but Aero Fighters
One
1 is
is-
coming to the Retrocade. I've made sure of it.
That
Good
game's
luck.
pretty cool. I had no idea. Like I
So-
saw it the first time. It's awesome.
That game is awesome.
Yeah.
The belt might be united
Yeah, good luck on that one.
on this side of the table.
Yeah, right.
I like the
I have a date with a monkey. That's all I'll say.
About unlimited.
Hmm?
Unlimited.
Unlimited?
Aero Fighters.
Never heard of it.
What?
The
I thought that was the.
There's another one?
I thought that was for like the PlayStation 1 or something.
No.
Oh, there's another one?
There's
There
another
is.
Aero Fighters arcade game?
Arcade.
yeah.
Where is
Oh,
it?
yeah, what?
You're slacking. What's going on?
Well,
What?
this is news to us.
No,
Where-
I asked
in
if
the
you guys, and
building?
you were like, no,
Is it
no.
Neo
That
Geo
one's-
or is
you-
it a-
no, it was unless I'm thinking of something else.
We
might
would
be
have
something else,
never
because-
poo-pooed a new.
Yeah,
No.
because I'm
It
pretty
was-
sure there's no other Aero Fighters in the series. And because he did, well, I got the special whatever for
Maybe it was special.
PlayStation. There's a PlayStation 1
Yeah.
port of that. So
It was special.
okay,
There's
Aero
a port of
Fighters
one,
special.
right? Or no?
it was a combination of all the
Is
Aero
it Aero
Fighters
Fighters
stuff.
Assault?
There's an Assault.
Oh wait, this is N64.
So
I just
no.
wanted. I tried to.
I got that. I think I just picked that up thinking it was an Aero Fighter, and someone told me it's totally different.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like not.
Anyway.
I will
not
I will
as-
research that. I
don't-
could
I
be
don't-
wrong.
I don't see
but
Jamie
I thought that-
doing Aero Fighters 1 anytime soon.
I'm gonna save state the
He's
crap out of it.
Go ahead.
Are there characters
You
that are better?
can't say, you can't
Right,
save state the order of the
can't-
levels
You can't
though.
save state the levels, but I've played that enough. I'm decent.
Yeah, okay.
Just got to get back into it.
I heard Walter say that too.
Oh wow. I like it.
Love it.
What?
So what are you going after tonight?
Well,
If I fix the Aero Fighters 2 monitor
I'll go after that.
tonight?
Yeah, why not?
Awesome.
I haven't played it for a while, but what I'm really working on right now is I want to go back and finish some games that I haven't finished. So Mars Matrix and Raiden Fighters 2.
Raiden Fighters
We were just talking about that. Yeah.
Excellent.
Are two of the ones I really want to work on right now because I'm so close. Like
You were very close on Raiden Fighters 2.
Raiden Fighters 2, I was getting to the boss for.
You're
like,
really
consistently.
impressive in that game.
I just need like one more bomb or one more
Yeah.
guy or something. Hopefully another guy, but like I'm just so close to that one. And Mars Matrix, I've been to level 6 a few times.
It is amazing watching you play Mars Matrix. Definitely one of my favorite games to watch you play.
That's a hell of a shmup. I love playing that game.
Yeah.
Like, the music is so cool. The colors and everything. It's just, and then the chaining system is just insane, which I love.
Yeah.
But like like I said, just going back to those games that like I might have like a local score here, but I just like the accomplishment of 1cc.
Yeah, the 1cc. That's where it's at this year.
We need to rank that on Arcade soon. I wish the 1cc thing it works, but
Displayed.
it doesn't display.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
It's on there.
Yeah.
Really?
But,
When we put in a score now, there's a little check mark we can add for game completed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
so
Okay. Cool.
I will try to get that implemented soon.
'Cause I
It's
think
been
it's
on the
great.
list for a
Yeah,
while,
totally.
but
I think 1cc is like it's a to me sometimes going for the 1cc is more fun than going for a score in some games.
Yeah, because sometimes the score is completely out of reach.
Yeah.
But 1cc is it's a fulfilling accomplishment.
It is.
absolutely.
Totally.
So unless more on.
I think we've beaten that to
we've-
death.
We can move.
All right. Well, then I guess Pete, is there any questions from Facebook
We had
fans
a
or?
we had a response on YouTube to last week's podcast or last week from a gentleman by the name of Nick S. He asked a bunch of questions. I'll just read them. I'll just read off his comment. Congrats on the pending expansion. Looking forward to the arcade becoming bigger and better. A few questions. With the expansion, do you envision filling the new area with newer games, sticking with retro cabinets, or a mix of both?
Definitely.
Yes.
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 It'll be a mix. A little bit of everything.
No bowling lanes?
No bowling lanes.
Okay.
No. Who said that?
No pool tables.
You didn't like the drum arcade machine? Man?
The drum arcade
I
one?
sent you a link to there's like a
Oh.
whole huge drum, like a whole
It's like
electronic.
a whole set,
yeah.
yeah. It's huge though.
That's yeah.
Too new.
Nah.
Neil
Too
Peart
much?
version.
Yes. No,
All right.
that won't be.
No
don't,
rhythm
won't
games?
be coming anytime
Are
soon.
you anti-rhythm
Let's
game?
go to Keith.
I have a respect for what the rhythm games have done for the scene over time, but
Not
they
here.
are a big footprint, and
Maintenance nightmare, too.
I mean, not
They're
necessarily like the
heavy-
DDR, but like the Japanese ones where it's people just kind of banging on.
The DJ one.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
like
yeah,
a real,
Beatmania.
just bing, bing, bing.
we
Guitar
got,
Hero.
We got
Car Freaks,
Oh,
as it's called in Japan.
Don't get Guitar Hero. My right middle finger permanently damaged.
Not for playing the real guitar. From playing fake
from
guitar.
playing
Fake
fake
guitar.
plastic guitar.
well, we do have
deserve that.
I do.
contact.
I totally do.
He has a real guitar. He's got 2 guitars, don't you?
3,
Three.
4.
We have.
I don't play any of them.
Yuchuyu Daisuke-san Choco Vader Contactee.
That has a little bit. They're like one
That's-
or 2 things
yes.
are rhythm in that. That's the limit.
That's the limit.
Okay.
Maybe someday, but don't expect it in this
I will not
next
hold my
We will not
breath.
expect
giant expansion.
All right, next question. For those unable to make a financial contribution to the fundraiser, would you accept volunteers donating their time to assist you in your endeavors?
Possibly. It depends on some of this. A lot of stuff here is
Depends what
very
skills they have.
involved. Yeah.
Wearing the suit outside with
Games inside.
one of those
Hey,
signs,
somebody's
flipping the
gotta take
sign
the
out
flippy
front. or
sign.
something.
Cleaning the bathrooms.
Ooh, there you go.
That's
Bathroom attendant.
Yeah,
Bathroom
yes.
attendant.
Oh, we should have one of those bathroom guys that gives you a mint. And
Right.
Bathroom,
Yes.
men's
Yeah.
bathroom
Yes.
attendant.
Everything's awkward
Or
around.
class up the joint.
Yeah.
All right.
Cologne?
What's the status update on Guinness recognition as us being designated the largest arcade in the country/world? no comment.
I have heard nothing back yet.
I thought that happened at
So-
T20.
Yes. It is,
no, there's
from what
no-
I hear, is a very slow process.
Oh, so there's no official announcement yet.
There has not been an
Okay.
official announcement,
Okay.
but
All right.
Patent pending.
patent pending.
With the expansion, do you anticipate the admission fee remaining at 15 or raising? It's a good question. People have told me we should charge more. Some customers.
I have heard that
Did they give you more money?
They wanted to. They just put it in the
people.
donation
We
drawer.
get a lot of people that generously put more money in the donation bucket.
We salute you.
Yes, we appreciate it very much. It is what has helped us be able to continue to grow. Currently, we are planning on leaving it at 15.
Because I mean, the bigger you are, the more people, right? So I mean, it's all.
Well, not
linear.
necessarily.
Okay.
Like our
Why would you
right
expand
now
then?
we are.
What's
Well,
the?
we have more games. They have to go somewhere.
That's the best
They
answer.
can't stay in my house. That'd be
Okay.
awesome.
It's
Yeah, Doc, you
it's-
want to throw a couple machines in our houses? We'll keep them for you.
Keep them nice and warm.
Yeah, keep them nice. And warm.
we want to keep adding more. Like it's that's the fun side to the arcade is to you put up new games and you watch people have fun playing them. And well, in part it has lent to more people coming. Like the more out there games that we get, more people travel in. And but this next expansion is we're going from having 2 buildings to 4 buildings, and that's a
big jump.
sizable rent jump.
Yep.
So
That's true.
we will definitely, for now we're keeping it at 15. It seems very manageable. I like that amount.
Yep.
So
Okay. All right. Let's see. Once we reach critical mass after the next expansion, what is next? Future expansions, franchising, opening new locations, or just continuing to assist others in opening arcades across the country? What's some? Oh, okay, that's the end of that question.
Do you think there is a critical mass?
We hit it. all
we
the time
hit
here.
it this
Right,
time.
I mean, it sounds like
It's-
from Facebook you guys hit it a few weekends this summer, like where it was just
well, as far as
jammed.
with
Like 600 people. Right?
Oh
Something
well,
like that.
I mean,
as
like,
far as with games,
Or,
I know,
sorry,
or-
sorry, games or people or
He
whatever.
doesn't specify.
I,
but
I think he's
either
talking
one.
about
I think
about
space for games. Yeah.
space
Okay.
for games.
Okay.
Like we are at the limit right now.
Or beyond the limit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Beyond
there's
the outer
some-
limit.
But you just your theory is we have games, therefore. So it's it sounds from you like the answer to his question is never.
Well,
Like you will just continue like a Borg to expand.
No, it's more like the expanding universe.
Yeah.
it's one of those. Well, I knew we would outgrow that. Well,
You'd hoped.
I
You
had
hoped,
thought
right.
that it would take a long time to outgrow the space that we had. Now with 4 buildings, we can hit 1,000 games, and honestly, as much
But how comfortable?
Not if you keep
are
buying-
you
comfortably,
big
comfortably.
'Cause it's-
Maybe
We discussed this
900.
before, how there's
900.
some
No,
choke
no, no.
points. You know.
We don't want to have the choke points like this is. We don't want it as tight as it is now at the arcade. The new space should make that. We should have a lot of room to grow for a long time. If it fills up, like
No,
we
when
can.
it fills
When
up.
it fills up.
Well, and all honestly, like I'm having a hard time even. Like we can buy games now, and it's just like, that's not where I don't really see that doing anything here. Like again, the selfish element of the game, like I don't want to play that game here, like so, and nobody
But
else has asked me for
Japan
it.
is
So.
full of surprises, dog.
Even in Japan, there's not a ton that I'm seeing that it's like, oh, we gotta have that, and there has been. There's probably like 25 more games right now where if I saw the board, if it was priced right, I'd buy it. There's a handful of cabinets, but there's not a ton of games left that it's like,
Doc has bought all the games.
Yeah.
I've
I don't
Monopolized the
I
game
don't
market.
believe
I
that.
have
Come on.
hit the point where
There's thousands of games.
there's thousands.
Thousands.
Like, but the
Just
goal is
just
not
regular
to,
stick and 2-button games.
there's
thousands.
the goal is not to own them all.
But there's
Catch
always,
'em.
always
Arcade game.
That has always been my collecting problem, and I don't have it this time.
Alright.
All right.
I don't need to have 600
right.
mahjong games from Japan.
What's your sexy matchup?
Yeah, I mean, like, just the Parodius shmups alone.
Those would be good to have.
You could have a whole
we have-
room of Parodius games. Just saying, there's
We could have a shmup
there's-
arcade.
yeah,
But
Schmupcade.
Yeah.
Shmupcade.
there's ones that no one has asked for. There's
Just 'cause they
like
don't
the
know about it yet. They don't know they need it.
They don't know they need it.
In their life right now.
I mean,
there's
there's really a great collection of games here right now, though. I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like right now, I will never play all the games here. ever.
It's impossible.
Sure.
It's impossible.
It really is impossible at some point. I mean, really. I mean,
Not physically impossible.
Would we like figure out the time to like spending 30 seconds on each machine was?
Just ask Moses. I mean, he's
He-
been going after.
he-
He's the number cruncher lately. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll have a
lately.
spreadsheet,
Yeah.
and I think he's 3/4 of the way through, and he's stalled. I mean, because it's
It's
you can
not
only do
much.
it for so long. You get burned out.
And he was playing just like a couple games each.
Yeah,
like
right.
a
You
couple-
play
like a
3
minute or
games,
two.
you get a score, put it in, and move
Right.
on.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's too much.
That's a lot.
Too much.
Well, there is a, I don't know, like we do get boards from wherever.
People like donate boards.
People
and stuff,
donate
yeah.
boards, like we'll get something in the mail, or somebody will, like we'll find some rare prototype and it'll go up, and
There's Donkey Kong 2.
there's there's room still. Like we have another, currently about 100 and, I don't know, 120, 130, 160, somewhere in there.
290.
250.
200.
So it doesn't sound like you're going to
Divide
reach
by
critical
0.
mass. You're just going to be done with the games you want.
Well, it's like right now, like there's stuff that I want that it's not showing up. Like it's not in front of me. I don't know where that there's one that I can get at a reasonable price. Like there's places where you can literally, if you have enough money, you can just go get any game you want. Like somebody will sell anything if the price is right. But it's been half the fun of it for me is there's tons of cool stories about getting pretty much every single cabinet that we have. And to me, it's not about just getting the game. It's about
chase.
getting it.
It's the hunt.
It is. It really is.
Oh,
it
I get
really
that.
is.
The adrenaline.
Yeah, he's
Mr.
I get
Garage
that.
Sailor over here. Walking around with $400 in singles.
all right.
We want to keep helping other arcades open.
It's going to be a long time until you reach critical mass. With,
Right.
the, with the
we'll
expansion.
have right, and then we can go up.
Well, then we could do events better too. Once we have more space,
More,
like
more
Right,
tournaments. Yeah.
right.
we'll be able to do like the MK events. Like
Hopefully a Battle of the Arcades can happen at some point.
We're
too.
still hoping that'll
Yes.
come around soon too. It's
That'd be awesome.
but with
absolutely.
more space, it'd be a lot. It'd be open. It'd be better ventilation. Everything.
for sure. As far as franchising, we get people asking regularly, "Hey, we want to franchise this out," and I'm not comfortable with that.
No.
Like I'd rather help somebody else open their own vision of
Right.
the arcade.
Imagine the Doc Mac training video.
Oh, it's
Lots of
getting.
flex.
Lifting arcade.
You
monitors.
must know Mushu.
Eventually, like until this arcade's not done, and I don't want to do a second location until, like, will there be a time where it's like,
It splits your time. You don't want to.
right?
Yeah, why would,
Focus on it. Why would you want it?
Exactly.
I just want this one to be the best it can be, and then maybe at some point it'll just feel like, there's nothing else to add here, and then maybe we'll do one out on
Brazil.
Walk away into the sunset.
why
Like Ryu at the end of the street, walking away.
take my shoes off
Yeah.
and grab my backpack and go
That
to
must keep
open a new
training.
arcade.
Cue Incredible Hulk music.
All right, next question. What's the most requested game by the staff / customers that you currently don't have on the floor? And then he says, "Thanks. keep
Bug
up the great
Hunter.
work."
Please.
Well, you do have to break that up into the casual
Tee.
gamer. Yeah, it's Golden
They
Tee,
want
Bug
Golden Tee,
Hunter,
Yeah.
and
Initial D.
Dance Dance. And Initial D, we get a lot.
Initial D. What's that?
Is it just
Racing.
you?
It's a Jap- No, that's
No,
you
no,
guys.
we get a
Okay.
lot of people asking for Initial D.
Raiden Fighter's Jet.
Yeah,
We've got at least 2 people that want it.
usually that's all it takes.
2 people. I'll game up with some.
I've had a guy
3
come in
people.
on his first time, and he's like, "You have an amazing collection of games, but
Why don't you have this?"
why don't you have Super High Impact?" And it's like,
Super
yeah,
High Impact.
why don't we have Super High Impact? And I bought it right then. It's a $40 board. It's like, that's an awesome game. And it just took the one guy who he was just looking around.
But there's no like one game that you're still hunting for that people are clamoring.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's like
Everyone's
this.
got their own thing.
It's a various. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
There's the stuff that, and again, like I look for specific stuff that I know you guys are gonna like. Like when I picked up MIA, it was like, oh, I can't wait to show this to Rocco.
Did he try it yet? Or?
No, we haven't put it on
Which
the
one
floor.
is that? Is that the?
That's
The Russian Attack sequel?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like
I hope he likes it.
I hope he does, but I know there's so many people donning the mustache and beret right now. I'm sure a bunch of people will be into it.
Sure.
But you never like what one person totally digs.
Right.
Somebody else is. It's like with fighting games. Like sometimes
Breaker's Revenge is the greatest fighting game ever.
You might like Martial Masters. You should try that.
You might totally dig Martial Masters.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I try to find games specifically with you guys in mind sometimes, and it's like, oh, I can't wait to get this on the floor so this person can totally play it. And
I think I've had more of you asking me, "Hey, do you think we should get this game?" Than me come up to you like, "So you're like, yeah, Doc's always on the prowl." Like,
Yeah, you are.
Hey, what do you think about this? I'm like, yeah, well, let's do it.
well, and that's
Yeah.
it is. It's like I
Yeah.
ask you because I want,
Right,
like
yeah,
I don't
so
want
it's
another.
nice. I like
twin cobra
Right.
where you're in, like we need that information that it's like, no, that's too easy.
Yeah.
Or I had never heard, like when he said he had never heard of X Multiply, it was like, I can't wait to get this and put it in front of you guys and watch you play it. Like that's the cool thing that I get out of this is like,
Yeah, I could probably go home and come up with a list of 20 shmups that would be awesome to have.
yeah.
Seconded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we're just like a small
But in the
core group of shmuppers that
Right, but
don't
you're the
really
guys
represent
that
everybody.
you don't represent everybody, but it's like the diversity that the arcade brings. That's how you get people to find new games that they love. Like you two are both playing X Multiply. Had you ever heard of it, Pete?
I only heard of it because it was IRM when I was like trying to get into R-Type. Like people were saying, well, you might want to try that one too, but I had never
Yeah.
played it before.
But like
I
how
certainly never heard of it before. No.
like how cool is that to throw something that was put out 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that people are now like having new appreciation for it.
Yeah, it's good.
And
I love stuff like that.
yeah. So
Cool. Anything else we want to talk about or?
I guess
Shout
we
out
have to. We had one other thing. We had David Bishop from Level 257 come in this week.
Hey, Dave.
Huge shout outs to him and 257.
Yep.
He had dropped off the Walter Day bust that the community had put together.
I haven't rubbed it yet. I gotta go.
I got a
It's
picture
like
with
a
it.
Buddha, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta rub it for luck before I go
Yeah.
after X Multiply tonight.
Maybe that'll become the new thing.
Oh, yes. I agree.
I'm just gonna rub Jamie's head and then.
That's a good substitute.
Huge shout outs to Carrie Cheney who helped pull that whole thing together, and everybody that contributed. They made this likeness, this sculpted bust of Walter on this amazing
It's pretty cool.
plaque.
It's huge.
on
Yeah.
this
pretty cool.
It's
What
pretty.
Yeah.
is it made out of? Bronze?
It's bronze.
Yeah.
It's a bronze in commemoration of all the amazing things that Walter Day has done for the
Here, here.
video game and scoring community. So we are fortunate enough to keep it here. And we've kind of, as a community, decided that it's like Walter, it will travel.
I was
Yeah,
like,
that,
So it'll be here for a bit, and then it will be
Make its
moving
way
on, make its way on to none other than the Underground Retro Cave.
oh,
So that is, I think we're
Nice.
kind of going.
awesome.
okay.
If you have it, you pick where it goes.
Nice.
It's like the
Cool.
Stanley Cup going around
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Your day with the Walter Day statue.
Yeah.
So
You
huge,
should take it downtown.
again, huge shout outs to David Bishop and 257 for bringing it here. Huge shout out to Carrie Cheney for helping that statue be made, and everybody that contributed to it. And we're honored to have it here. And
It's very cool.
it will be on display, and we're just fine tuning where it will be located. So next time you're in, take a look at it and check it out.
Take a picture, put it on the Facebook page.
you
Yes,
go. Yeah.
yes. But I guess that pretty much wraps it up.
One
Oh.
real quick thing.
Oh,
I want to just, if you guys haven't ever watched, the two guys we have on the podcast right now have a shmup show called Shmuppin'.
Shmuppin'.
Oh,
Yes.
Shmuppin' with JT and the Hambone.
Yes.
It's a really great show, and they got me to watch a lot of their videos, and they put out some great content. So I want to give them a shout out. They're both here. They're both great
Absolutely.
players. And if you guys want to see them, they're on Facebook and they have a YouTube channel too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Okay.
And a new episode will be coming out fairly
Ooh.
soon.
Cool.
Do we get to know what game or not?
Exclusive.
No,
Is
it is a secret right now.
not
but,
not even a hint for
A hint. Well,
Do we have it here at the arcade?
yes, we probably
Yes.
do.
Probably.
It has 2 buttons. You have to use a joystick.
Is it an 8-way or 4-way joystick?
Hey, whoa!
Oh,
too
Take it
much.
easy. That's way too much right now. Okay, this is
This is a hint.
top secret shmuppin' stuff.
All right.
Well, we do definitely appreciate you doing that show. It's awesome, very entertaining.
Thank
and
you.
It's awesome.
We got to
So-
get back into it.
Yeah.
Start pumping them out.
Excellent.
Cool.
Look-
That was my only shout out. I
Oh,
wanted.
well, thank you for the shameless plug. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you guys are both here, and I really enjoy it. So.
It's Facebook. I think it's facebook.com/schmuppin and youtube.com/schmuppin.
Cool.
Easy.
Awesome. Yes, definitely check it out. But anyway, this is thanks everybody for listening. This
Yep,
is
thank you.
thanks Fred DeHart, former Gamer of the Year, Pete Hahn, current Game of the Year, Jamie Tibbetts.
Nothing.
Gamer in our
Nothing.
hearts.
No accolades. None.
Hey, he won Atari Week at the Underground Retrocade last year.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Pretty hard.
Remember the big plaque or the thing that Scott gave you?
Was that Atari?
I believe that was
I
Atari.
think so. I don't know. It's either me or Tim Vanderkolk. Shout out to Tim Vanderkolk.
That's random. Fred's dying over here.
Oh boy.
We better stop.
Yeah, we better stop. All right.
Anyway, thanks everybody. This is Doc Mack from the Galloping Ghost Arcade, and we hope to see you around the arcade soon.
Hold on, I'm not done recording.
All right. So Jamie, get this one.